Hey, peace family, it's Jay Morrison, and welcome to another episode of The Solution. So let's talk about the problem. I find it a big problem that the world has been in an uproar. Many of the NBA and black community have turned against Kyrie Irving, and a mainstream community and a sector of the Jewish community have labeled him an anti-Semite. That's a problem. Why is it a problem, and what can we do about it? It's a problem because calling Kyrie Irving an anti-Semite and reprimanding him and critiquing him because he posted a documentary that he found interesting, he found some truths in that others don't agree with, or the documentary may even have, and I watched the documentary, it referenced people who had things to say about European converted Jews and who they are in the light of those people. Wasn't Kyrie's words, wasn't what he said, but here's the problem. If Kyrie Irving could be an anti-Semite for posting something that had any negative connotation towards Jews, we got two problems with that. One, Kyrie Irving's statement is, I love all people, I have nothing against all people, and I can't be an anti-Semite if I know who I am. AKA, he knows he's of the original people of the Bible. He knows he's of Abraham's seed. He knows that he is an Afro-Asiatic, which is the definition of a Semite. He's from Afro-Asiatic lineage. He is, and not all black people are, but there are black people who can convert, just like white people can convert. But black people, the original Israel, the original 12 tribes of Jacob, aka Israel, were black. So he's saying, I'm not anti anyone, and I'm not anti my own people, not anti who I am. So that's one thing. You can be anti-black and be black. You can be anti-white and be white, but it's less logical that you're going to be against your own lineage, your own DNA, your own tribe, and who you are. So, to call Kyrie Irving an anti-Semite when the original people of the Bible, the original seeds of Abraham, were Ethiopian people, African people, and Egyptian dark-skinned people. This is scientific, this is historic, this is biblical, right? Samson had 7 locks, dreads, black man. Adam was born in Ethiopia, Cush, black man. Jesus, bronze, burnt skin, wool hair, black man. So we know that the seeds of Abraham, historically, scientifically, and biblically, were described as black people, dark people, African people, Afro-Asiatic people. That lineage of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob aka Israel, his 12 sons, aka the tribes of Israel, that lineage down to David, Saul, Samson with the 7 locks, strongest man on the planet, Solomon, wisest man on earth, with the 700 wives and concubines, down to Jesus, Joseph. That lineage was a lineage of Afro-Asiatic, dark-skinned black people. There's no knock to no one else, but we can't remix and make up history other than what it actually is. We can't remix the Bible other than what the Bible actually says. If you're a Torah, the Torah is just the first 5 chapters of the Bible, by the way. It's nothing different. It's just the first 5 chapters, the Torah. Or the whole Bible, either way, it describes the original people of the Bible, the original people of the planet, as African people and dark-skinned people. Nowhere in the Bible, well, there's a place where it talks about pale skin or light skin, but it is not historically, it's more of an exception in the Bible for anyone to be labeled white as snow or light skin or pale skin. So, let's not call the lineage of the original lineage of the Semites anti-Semitic. Stop it. Let's stop doing that. Just because we adopt and claim our heritage. Like, because I'm my grandfather's seed, don't say I'm anti the Robinsons when my grandfather's a Robinson. Like, bro, it's my seed, it's my lineage, it's my inheritance. Next, the issue with calling Kyrie an or anti-Semitic or anti-Semite is because he posted a documentary and called him an anti-Semite because he promoted this documentary, then what are the white people, the Jewish people, the European people, what are they that own media companies, music record labels that promote the killing, imprisoning, rape, all that of black men and black women? Are they anti-black? So if I'm a black athlete and I post a documentary that mentions Jews or whites or anyone in a light that they don't like, it makes me anti them, but Jewish families, businesses, men, women can own record labels and media companies that propagate and promote the killing of black men and own private prisons that the black men go to. So are they anti-black? Are they anti-African? Are they racist? So if Kyrie Irving is an anti-Semite or a racist against Hebrews or Jews, and he claims to be one, so if he's anti-Hebrew himself and racist because he posts a documentary, then all the people that post and promote the killing of my people in our neighborhoods, those people are anti-black and racist. So it has to play across the board. So any Jewish man that posts Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood, any album of NBA Youngboy or anyone else promoting violence, killing, putting money on your head, taking your woman, putting all that, any Jewish person or white person that promotes that is then racist, according to these folks' philosophy. That's the problem. The solution to this is we have to have an even playing field, not an evil playing field. We got that already. We need an even playing field in regards to the comps, comparables of how we look at these situations. And the black community specifically has to start unifying and rallying around some common values. While other communities have more power and more control than our community, I'm speaking to those of African descent who may be watching this, is because they have common values they unite around. Sometimes the flag of Italy might be the common value. I'm Italian, and this flag and this nationhood, this nationality is my value. I'm Russian, and this Russian flag is my value. I'm Irish, I'm an Irishman, and this is my common value. Or I'm Jewish, and I embrace Israel, although I'm not originally from there, but we converted there, we migrated there, and I embrace Israel, and I embrace the Torah, and I embrace these laws and commandments, and these are our values, these traditions, the Passover, the feast, these are our values. Black people, those of African descent, Moorish American, Pan-African, and all the many names we go by, we can't even agree on a name, let alone a flag, let alone common values. The solution for black people to have unity in America or throughout the African diaspora, everywhere in the globe, we've been spread out over the last centuries, is two-part. One, to identify who the we is. Who is the we? Who's the us? And what do we agree on greater than our differences? I'll say it and I'll say it again because it needs to be repetitive teaching here. Spiritually, morally, from standards perspective, family standards, community standards, I believe our values should be love God with all your heart, love yourself, and love thy neighbor like thyself. We'll stop killing, we'll stop murdering, we'll stop raping, we'll stop adultering, we'll stop a lot of the things that we do that degrade and harm our community. That's one. Two is this like-kind people, or peoples with an S, the United Nations calls it. This like-kind peoples needs to vote, have a diplomatic or democratic process for how we establish nationality and identity. There literally is a pathway to nationality and legal identity through human rights court, world's court, when a like-kind people who've been through like circumstance have a plebiscite or public vote, a tribunal to hold their captors or colonizers guilty, if you will, of human rights violations and establish their circumstance. And then they can be on a pathway to actually nationality, dual citizenship with a sovereign nation in their own flag, their own self-governing, their own agenda. Black people, and in America especially, Africans in America, throughout diaspora, we haven't come together. And here in America, we have no flag that represents us specifically, no homeland, no home nation that we all can align to. And I don't mean all, 42 and a half, 43 million. I'm just talking about a group that recognize, think about it. European Jews didn't unite all Europeans. They just united Europeans and the like, Russians, Turkish, different, countries of the East, if you will. They just united those around common values, not everybody. And with those common values and that collective group, they built a lot of power and a lot of wealth. Something we can learn from that. We don't need to unite the entire African diaspora or all the Africans in America. We just need to unite those who can share common values and want to see progression and want to self-govern and want to be big boys and big girls at the table. At their own table. And then do business with everyone else from the seat of our own table, and let's talk to them at their table. Not who want crumbs off someone else's table or just a seat at someone else's table. That's a different kind of black person, a different kind of African in America, where you just want to assimilate at someone else's table and be their subordinate, be their helper, right? Be their minority. I personally believe in self-determination and liberation and true freedom, big boy flex, real power, and that we should be self-governing and have our own table, our own declaration, our own national anthem, our own flag, our own bylaws, our own curriculums, our own institutions. That's what I believe the solution is to be true equals. I believe the solution to racism, to second-class citizenship, anti-Semitic spews and slurs and all that is for us to own our heritage, own our lineage, own our culture, own our governing, own our self-defense and military, own our schools, own our Treasury Department, own our Agriculture Department. Literally do the hard work that's been stripped from us and rebuild once again around common values, and it don't take everybody. That's the kind of conversation, because you see how fast they can divide us. They literally labeled Kyrie Irving an anti-Semitic for posting something, retweeting something, and refusing, initially anyway, to bow down and apologize. When daily, people that are not of African descent promote degrading and destructive content towards African people and people of African descent. But they're not labeled anything for that. It's just entertainment at that point, right? It's entertainment when it's ninja this and ninja that. But for us, it can't be entertainment or education. But you've seen how quick people were divided and the community was divided and people threw Kyrie under the bus. And now all of a sudden it became a bad guy that hurt everybody's feelings. As if this rap music, these movies, our culture we buy into, degrading of our women, degrading of ourselves, as if that's not hurtful, but we can't stand up for that. We only can stand up for it when it's somebody else that's being hurt or harmed. It shows a lack of regard, self-love, self-dignity, and standard that we have for ourselves. We uphold somebody else's standard for their own community greater than we uphold a standard for ourselves. Imagine what beefing with your brother about somebody else's family and their family values, but not correcting you and your brother on your own family values. That's hustling backwards. And that's what we as a community have been doing. So This platform, we're here to talk about big problems, political problems, economic problems, social problems, but not just talk about them for the sake of conversation, but add value and clear-cut solutions. I believe there's no such thing as problems. There's only a lack of solutions. Once you bring the solution to the table, the problem no longer exists. So thank you guys for joining another episode of The Solution. Shout out to our brother, our comrade, King Kyrie. I know you've been standing on purpose. You've been standing on mission. You've been standing on principle for a long time and getting jumped, getting beat up in many different platforms in many ways. There's those that are watching, those that are supporting, and many others who've been under these same kind of attacks. Nick Cannon, Kanye West caught a bit of it. Even outside of Kanye West's antics and everything else, he's still caught hell because he has something to say and he's talked about his true identity and our true identity. And that stirs things up. My video that did 500,000 views in a couple of days on Instagram got taken down, and I said nothing negative. I actually said, let's not say anything negative about anyone of any race. Let's just claim our own. These are strong conversations, but that's what revolutionary change is all about. Strong conversations, it's standing on your square, standing on your dime, standing on principle greater than popularity. So I'll see you guys next time. Make sure if this content is interesting to you, like the content. You might want to dislike it. I don't know how you feel. Comment below, but also share it. Let's start the conversations and let's talk about the problems, but most importantly, let's address the solutions in real life. Peace.